Okay. Woo! Woo! Hey! Yeah. Oh, I love the enthusiasm of this crowd already.
Woo! Woo! Wow!
Okay.
Wow!
I wish I had written a better toast for that first applause. Actually, I wish you could see this toast because I cut out like half of it today. But if you want the outtakes, you can find me later. So anyways, I'm Erin, Hannah's older sister. So, yeah. Okay, this is gonna go well. This is gonna go. I need to put this down though.
Yep.
A lot of props. So I've had the pleasure of knowing Hannah my whole life. And it's actually a little bit intimidating to toast Hannah because Hannah, I think you all know, is like the toast master. And she just crushed a speech at Haley's wedding. I actually asked for the copy of that speech. Find her place. No, but seriously, Hanny, I want to do well by you because you're like just the best. So where I wanted to start is, I don't know how well you all know Hannah, but she actually started as a pretty quiet child. I'll let that sink in a minute. I can see some of her college friends being like, wait a minute, Hannah was voted the loudest person in her dorm at Santa Clara, and that dorm was voted the loudest dorm on campus. So Hannah was actually the loudest person at Santa Clara. And you're not incorrect. This is true. But she did start out as a quiet child. Very keenly, as my dad said, just kind of looking around, taking the world in. And then we're on a family road trip to Durango, go figure. We're probably like 9 hours in. I always thought it took 9 hours to get to Durango. I actually come to realize it's like 6.5, but shout out to Tom Letts and safe driving practices. So we're like 9 hours into this 6-hour drive, and I'm like, I'm tired. And all of a sudden we hear this, I'm tired too. And we're like, what? And we all turn and stare in awe at Hannah's first words, which were basically a complete sentence. And let's just drop this page.
Yep. Just drop it.
So, from there, Hannah just quickly started blooming into this like beautifully vivacious person that we all know and love today. And Hannah, you're this really interesting, as I'm thinking about it, you're just like this fascinating combination of like a super extroverted, like larger than life, hilarious personality trapped in this like very regimented, like Virgo body. And Hannah always hated being a Virgo growing up. Sorry for all y'all like astrology references, but whatever. Hope y'all know that Virgo is an astrological sign. So she hated this Virgo disposition, and I remember complaining. It was like, hey, her horoscope would be like, hey, Virgo, try to have a little fun this weekend and get out of the library. So in college, Hannah took that and would like tried to distance herself and was like taking that, having a little fun to the next level, all while working at the library. Yep. Actually, the law library. I stand corrected. Even better. So Hannah's, as I said, my younger sister by 4 years. No big deal. But as I was thinking about this toast, I really actually was thinking about Hannah as my older sister. Older and wiser sister. Truthfully. And I have this, my favorite example of this. So I'm going to take us back in time. Hannah's a young high schooler. I don't even think you could drive. And I just landed my first paid internship at a real estate development company. Thanks to a family friend who is not here today to hear the story, which is good for us. So I had this like very tricky task of updating an Excel spreadsheet. I needed to update contact information of individuals, which required calling said individuals. This was proving to be too much. I was stressed. I was like, Yeah, breaking out, it was hard. Hannah, bless her soul, saw an opportunity to not only help her sister out, but also make a little cash that summer. So Hannah negotiated this agreement whereby I would pay her my internship salary, and she would call these contacts to update the database from the comfort of her high school bedroom, just nestled between her giant stuffed animal dog and keychain collection. Needless to say, Hannah helped me save face with my internship that summer. I made zero money. Hannah made money to save up to buy this red BMW? Is that right? Okay. Yeah, convertible that she'd been coveting. Spoiler alert, she never got that. She actually inherited a red Subaru Legacy. Subi, which actually Hannah called, I learned this recently, Hannah affectionately named this car Raz, after her favorite drink, Bacardi Raspberry. Super classy, yeah. So, fast forward, I'm in college and talking to my friends about my family, and I'm like, yeah, I've got this one sister. I'm like, she's totally like me, but better. And they're being gracious. They're like, no, you're great. And then they met Hannah, and they were like, totally. Spot on assessment. Hanny, this part I might need to read because I memorized this part so much. Hanny, I don't want to read it. I truly look up to you so much, as if you were my older sister. I admire you. What else did I say? Oh, yeah. You have added unimaginable joy and laughter and comfort to my life, and I am endlessly grateful for you. In the words of Rodney, keep up the good work. John, I remember the first time my mom and I were going out to San Francisco to visit Hanny, and we were going to meet you for the first time. And I was talking to Hanny a couple days before that, and she was like, John has been prepping some questions to ask you guys. Now, little do you all know, well, actually, now you've met my family, you probably do know, but questions are the key to the Lutz's hearts. We love questions. We feel very flattered when we're asked questions. We're just into questions. Sometimes we ask people so many questions ourselves that we're answering our own questions through our questions. Anyway, so I was already super flattered by this thought, Clemmy, that you were gonna ask me a question. And then I heard the question, which was gonna be, hey Aaron, how's grad school? And my heart melted. Clemmy, you had me at how's grad school? Dramatic flair. Let's see. I had one more thing to say. I don't know if I want to say it. I think it will. I feel like this is going well, so I'll say it. Just one more bit about John. Sorry, Hannah. But it relates to you. John, the love that you have for Hannah is evident. And I think it was maybe that same visit where my mom said something, not a question actually, more of a statement, shocking, but something like, so John, I hear you're quite the golfer. And you very modestly were like, yeah, I'm okay. But have you seen Hannah? Which that's generous. That's very generous. But it's this kind of internal, or sort of, no, not internal, eternal optimism that you have. Sorry, shouldn't have done this bit. Hadn't practiced it. But no, really, this sort of eternal optimism that you have, that I know Hannah loves about you, and I think we all do as well. So here's the sentiment about Hannah and John. You are both just such a complimentary couple. And I love that you're individually strong and independent, as we've said, generous, compassionate, and you care so deeply about your friends and family. And I think the two of you coming together creates this like just amazing magnetism. People are drawn to both of you. And if you just kind of, well, I was imagining you're up here looking out when I was going to say this, but like if you can kind of just like see all these people around you that have come together because of the two of you as a couple, just your amazing friends, your amazing families, and just all these people that are going to be here to support you in your lives and in your marriage. So my wish for you is that you are able to continuously find humor in the mundane, which you all, I think, we're pretty good at. That you respect and embrace one another's differences. That you're especially tender during the difficult times, and that you always look for ways to build each other up. I love you both individually, and I love you together. Cheers and carry on. Is that what my mom said? Yeah!
Cheers! That was so good. Yeah. Woo!
You guys. Oh, hey, good. Oh, I still have the mic. Ah! I'm so sorry, Keith.
No, that's okay. That's totally.
Woo! I'll let them have their moment. I just have to give a quick shout out to the Letts family. They really get people pumped up. I've been very impressed with that. They were having me chug water earlier. I was getting super amped about that. It was fun. All right. So, for those of you I haven't met, my name's Gene. I met John 8 years ago in San Francisco. I was moving into my new apartment in Cow Hollow, and my then roommate at the time convinced me to pause unpacking to go on a brewery tour in Marin County. So, on a Google bus. And it was the second best decision I ever made. When I wrote this speech, I said first best decision, and then Carlin, my wife, was like, maybe second. Yeah, so thanks for the edits. So I got on the bus in the Marina Safeway parking lot looking for a place to sit. I had my shopping bag with a bottle of vodka and 4-pack of Red Bull as standard to-go drinks for a brewery tour. And as fate would have it, there was an open seat next to the cooler on the bus. And there was this guy with boyish good looks who was also from Orange County. So I sat across from him on the bus. And we started talking. At that point, I hadn't yet made any friends in San Francisco. And John immediately struck me as being just so genuine and warm and friendly. We both found common ground on a lot of things. We were both California boys that moved out of state to go to college. We shared a common love of sports, military history, aggressive EDM music like Flosstradamus and Diplo, playing golf, of course, and an affinity for playing Golden Tee and Papa Shot at Mauna Loa, which is one of the divier bars in the marina. So, yeah. John also happened to live right around the corner from our apartment. So, from that moment, our fates felt like they were intertwined forever. Over the years, John and I were best buds, playing at just about every public golf course in the Bay Area. We visited every bar in the marina in Cow Hollow. We had countless dinners at Brazen Head, and we traveled all over the U.S. Denver, Scottsdale, Las Vegas, Seattle, Monorail, and golf trips. Things were great. And then one day, things took a turn for the worst. Just kidding, I mean the best. I got a call from John to come to Rome, which is a great burger spot on Union Street, to meet a new girl he was so excited about. I showed up to Rome around dinner time, and it was clear that they had had a very aggressive brunch day. If you've ever seen John's rosy face and vein on his nose, you'll know what I'm talking about. The first time I set my eyes on Hannah, my immediate reaction was to high-five John for finding such a hot girl to date. And quite frankly, Hannah was an upgrade in almost every category from the previous girls that John had dated. Aside from Hannah being beautiful, she was also super friendly, outgoing, and it was that night at the burger restaurant that I first learned about Hannah's dance moves. Hannah, your ability to find the beat and shamelessly dance in almost any public setting is something I've come to admire over the years. Beyond that, your unique Let's sense of humor, patience, organizational skills, and fun-loving attitude make you the perfect complement to John. And I'm so happy you're signing up to live your life with John, because he can certainly use some help in a couple departments. See, none of us are perfect, and John is certainly no exception. He has some unique qualities that his friends have learned to deal with over the years, and Hannah is going to have to live with forever. For those of you that aren't aware, John is a huge Star Wars nerd. When Rogue One came out in theaters, Rick, a bunch of our friends, we were actually just talking about this in the bathroom, but John was basically put in charge of buying tickets at the Kabuki Theater in Japantown. So this is one of those theaters where you can book your seats in advance. So, the normal way of going to a movie is to sit in the same row, you share buckets of popcorn, you can talk with one another. Imagine our surprise when we walked into the theater with our tickets seated in a column, 6 people in front of one another in a row. It was such an intimate and lonely experience, John. I'll never forget that movie night. Hannah, you're in charge of booking tickets for movies from now on. And as you heard last night, punctuality is not John's strong suit. I learned very early on in our friendship to add some buffer time because John runs on his own schedule, and alarmingly, he's completely unbothered by the threat of being late. During John's bachelor party, as everyone was getting in taxis to go to the restaurant, John was getting in the shower. In San Francisco, if the group has a 2 o'clock tea time, John gets a separate text that it's a 1:50 tea time. And in the time John and Hannah have been together, I've seen little to no improvement in his punctuality. So good luck, Hannah. John's also not a big-time details guy. Similar to his approach on being on time, he's also completely cool with going with the flow and omitting details. This past fall, Carlin and I decided to buy our first home in the marina, which was conveniently located across the street from John and Hannah's apartment. After our offer was accepted, Hannah was so excited for us, but equally bummed that we wouldn't be neighbors anymore since they were moving to Walnut Creek in just a couple of weeks. A small detail John had forgotten to mention in our daily conversations. Seriously. It's a true story. He didn't tell us he was moving. This was obviously disheartening. My buddy of 8 years was moving away as part of the colony's great migration out of San Francisco. Would I see John anymore? Would the 4-hour drive be tolerable to the East Bay? Actually, it's like 45 minutes, but you do have to drive through a bridge and through a funnel. Additionally, I was wondering, was it really worth it to sit in that much traffic, pay a bridge toll to see my buddy? The jury's still out on that one. For all of John's quirks, most of which are lovable, he's a really special guy, and our friendship grew even stronger during the pandemic. John was my pandemic workout buddy. After we emerged from shelter in place and were allowed outside again, John and I would meet in Pack Heights to do the Murph workout. We'd get drenched in sweat, sprinting hills, doing air squats and push-ups in front of mansions, while all the gyms were closed in the city and London Breed had sealed up our beloved pull-up bars at Fort Mason with caution tape. It's very disappointing. I still don't like London Breed. After not seeing one another in person for months, suddenly we were hanging out in person almost every day. We'd spend the time fantasizing about golf trips to faraway places, sharing history book recommendations, and debating heavy topics like race relations and politics in America, or scheming about questionable investment strategies like GameStop, BlackBerry, and AMC. While it sounds like a small thing, I'll always reflect fondly on those days, as it was truly something special being able to hang out with John almost every day while people drove by in their cars, staring at us, air squatting on every corner in front of $20 million mansions. We must have looked pretty badass. When Carlin and I brought home our Labradoodle puppy, Dalton, John made an immediate impression, quickly becoming one of Dalton's favorite people. He's up there with Steve and Janelle, competing for Dalton's top 3 godparents. Even our puppy's a great judge of character. I joke all the time that if I had to go to a cocktail party with a bunch of strangers, I'd want John there as my date. Sorry, Carlin. He has this magical ability to find common ground with almost everybody and connect with them in a meaningful and genuine way. John takes getting matched up with strangers in golf groups as an opportunity to get somebody. And to me, it's beautiful how many friendships have blossomed over the years. And for me, I got to know so many incredible people, including Hannah, because I was friends with John, and I'll forever be grateful for that. To the Clements and Letts families, thank you for raising such wonderful children. I feel so blessed to have both of them in my life, and I know everyone here feels the same way. So I'm going to ask everyone to refill their glasses. Graham, looking at you. Oh, you need a refill. Shocker. And for those who are still able to stand, Rick, can you stand up and raise your glasses, please? I'd like to toast to John and Hannah Clements. Cheers. Water. Amazing. All right. Now what? Oh. Woo! Oh, sorry. Oh, thank you. All right. Good luck, buddy. You're gonna kill it.
That was awesome.
Thank you. Thank you.
I mean, oh my God, that was so wonderful. You crushed it. You crushed it.
Thank you. Oh yeah. Thanks. You guys are great. Oh, thank you. You guys are too much. Thanks, boss. Thank you, boss. That was so good. Thank you.
I'm not gonna lie, those are a couple tough acts to follow. Well, first of all, I want to thank everyone for. No, that's wrong. First of all, I want to thank my wife, Hannah Clements. You're beautiful, you're incredible, and I'm honored to be here with you. Back to the regularly scheduled program. First of all, I just want to say thank you so much to everyone who's here. You all traveled so far across oceans, continents, navigated changing COVID regulations. Some of you drove, some of you were local. Doesn't matter where you came from, it means the world to both of us to look out and see all of our friendly faces, our family faces. It's tough to be up here and look and see this and not get emotional because you don't get an opportunity like this very often. And I'm truly thankful and humble for all of you to be here with us today. I want to thank my parents. They've been an endearing source of inspiration and frankly have held a really high bar up there that I don't always meet, but I try to leap high enough to hit it. Mr. and Mrs. Letts, it's been beyond speechless. I don't even know how to describe it, but it's been incredible to get to know you. I did drop a list of questions the first time we met. As a side note, Hannah also planned that as a day I came back from a spring training trip to try to tone me down. I didn't have a ton of energy. That was entirely strategically planned. But you have been so open, so warmful, so just welcoming in every way, shape. The Bauer family as well. Thank you so much. TB12. You were incredible today. Thank you for the bi-weekly bourbon committees and just being an internal source of optimism throughout a very long engagement. An overcooked fiance I've heard a few times. And so I would love to just, I don't have a glass with me, but I just want to cheers each and every one of you for being here today.
Should we bring them their drinks?
And Hannah, my wife, would like to say a few words as well.
Wife? My
Oh
wife?
my gosh.
Wow.
Is my husband great or what?
Is it weird saying that?
I actually wish we had rehearsed this because that was good. Similar in format, what you just took, which is fine. So I'll just like do like a little rinse and repeat, and that's gonna be really fun. As John said, again, I mean, I am just so incredibly honored that you all are here. I did a count earlier, and we have representation from 16 states and 2 countries. Shout out Kate and James from London. But truly, I mean, it means the world to us that you are here. It is not lost on us that Durango is not the easiest place to get to. You throw in a monsoon and it's damn well impossible. So you're all here and on time, which is great. Something I'm apparently not very used to. So this is good. For me, this is okay. But Scott, Marjorie, and Caroline, thank you for welcoming me into your family with open arms. And I mean that both literally and figuratively. Actually, before I met Caroline, John had told me, he's like, you know, my sister's really intimidating. So like, just don't feel discouraged if she doesn't really warm to you. I was like, okay, this feels like a good setup. And so fast forward to me meeting Caroline, I like timidly go for the handshake, and she immediately just pulls me in for an embrace. And I'm like, all right, petrifying. And yikes. But Scott and Marjorie, I mean, just thank you for raising the man that John is today. The two of you have such an incredibly supportive and loving and respectful relationship, and these are all qualities that John has seamlessly brought to our relationship. Scott, in you, I have not only gained a father-in-law, but I have permanently secured a tax accountant. And I'm pretty sure Tom Letts is pleased with this because this will save him from my annual tearful call every April, where I'm like, Dad, I don't know. Do I have a Roth IRA? Should I be expecting a 1099 form? And I don't know. Could you maybe just do my taxes for me? So Scott, lucky you. Mom and Dad, you are both a huge reason today is happening. So thank you for just your endless love, your unwavering support, and just everything you've done to make today happen. The day's not over, but it's shaping up to be, I think, top 5, maybe top, I don't know. And I have you both to thank for that. You've been so incredibly generous, and thank you for bringing this to life. Sissy, hello there, maid of honor of dreams, if I may. You truly have been the best support, my rock. Like, you've been sensational. Planning a bachelorette party can be a little stressful, and you had the added benefit of just planning it twice, which is great. Finding out very quickly that grand welcome property management, not so welcoming. But that's fine. But seriously, I cannot imagine today without you. I struck gold with you as my big sister, and thank you. Uncle Tom, the officiant. Uncle Tom. You made everything about planning our ceremony so incredibly special and unique and wonderful. And today, as I think maybe you all know, but we did not expect all these little pop-ups, if you will. And it just exceeded all expectations. And you also just brought so much candor to the process. For those of you that don't know, John and I obviously wrote our own vows, but we thought we wanted them to be a surprise. We'll share them with Uncle Tom, have him do a little review, and just give us some feedback. Are we similar in tone? Are we similar in pace? And so I send over my draft, John sends his, and Tom is, more or less like, John, first and foremost, thank you for sending a draft. He's like, I just want to let you know, yours are a little shorter than Hannah's. Totally fine. But you might want to reconsider a little bit of the tone. Right now it's reading a little bit like a quarterly business review.
Again, totally fine, but like just something to think about. So I'm pretty sure without that intervention, John would have been up there today being like, well, Hannah, here's where you've met expectations. Maybe we would talk about what the Bulls and the Bears are saying about our relationship. I don't know. So for that, I thank you. But seriously, thank you all so much for being here. We love every single one of you so much, and it means the world to us that you're here. So I think we're gonna kick off the dance floor. Dessert and dancing. So if you'll follow us, we'll just start dancing as a couple. Cheers to all of you, actually.
Make some noise. Next, we're gonna have Joan and Marjorie share dance.
Used to spend my nights at ballroom. There was the only love I'd known. But you rescued me from reaching for the bottom and brought me back. Yeah, too far gone. Oh, that smooth Tennessee whiskey. You're as sweet as strawberry wine. You're as warm as a glass of brandy. Honey, I stay stoned on your love all the time. I've looked for love in all the same old places. Found the bottom of the bottle's always dry.
All right, y'all make some noise for him out there. That's really beautiful. And now we'll invite Hannah and Tom to the floor to share a dance.
Everybody on the dance floor, let's go now.
What I'm talking about.
Wait! Okay, now, from the beginning.
Hit it, boys. What are you talking about?
All young men with suits and ties, just sitting in the crowd smoking big cigars. I hope you're ready for what's coming now. I'm the one on the lady that would bring you down. place. That'll rock this place. That'll rock this place. Rock this place. Rock this place. Rock this
Okay, now, from the beginning. There's a joint on the corner where the big boys play, where the whiskey's running like the river, but they all never come for the booze and bass. I'm the one, I'm the lady that'll rock this place. That'll rock this place. That'll rock this place. Rock this place.